Good day to you all there. On our lecture today, we'll be dealing with binomial theorem. In binomial theorem, it has to do with the expansion of bracket of higher values. We are all familiar with a kind of expansion of this nature. If you have x plus y raised to the power of 2, this kind of expansion simply means x plus y, which when I do the expansion, I'm going to have x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. But if I have a kind of expansion of this same x plus y in bracket and I'm asked to have the power of 6, this is going to give me a lot of problem in solving. If I want to do it in this way, it might not even be possible. So in that regard, we bring in what we call the binomial expansion in the solving of this kind of a question. Now let's now look at some factors that you have to take note of or you use in guiding to solve the binomial expansion. So let's look at it right away now. What I'm going to first show you is the binomial and the coefficient, how they're going to look like. Now, I'm going to start from the expression of x plus y raised to the power of 1. This is the binomial, and this is a coefficient. This one will give us the coefficient as 1, 1. If I have x plus y raised to the power of 2, this will be 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 1. X plus y raised to the power of 3 will give us 1, 1 plus 2, 3, 1 plus 2, 3, then 1. X plus y raised to the power of 4. This will give us 1, 1 plus 3, 4, 3 plus 3, 6, 3 plus 1, 4, and 1. X plus y raised to the power of 5 will give us 1, 1, 1 plus 4, 5, 4 plus 6, 10, 4 plus 6 again, 10, 4 plus 1, 5, 1. X plus y raised to the power of 6. That will be 1, 1 plus 5, 6, 5 plus 10, 15, 10 plus 10, 20, 10 plus 5, 15, 5 plus 1, 6, and 1. Now, this expression as we have it here, let me give you the seventh one. The seventh power of this x plus y raised to the power of 7 will be 1, 1 plus 6, 7, 6 plus 15, that will be 21, 15 plus 20, that's 35, 20 plus 15, that is 35 as well, 15 plus 6, that is 21, 6 plus 1, 7, and 1. Now, this expression here, or this kind of diagram I have here, is what we call Pascal triangle. Pascal's triangle. Now, what are the things you need to deduce from this? These are the coefficients that this set of expressions that are going to have when you are dealing with them. I'm going to show you a particular question and then you see the coefficient, then we'll now relate it with this. Now, the first thing you also need to know there is this. Look at this first expression. You discover that all the power we have on them, the second term A, all the second term have the power that we have here. And the second term before the preceding the last value here is also having the value there is equal to the power we have on the expansion we are about to do. You can see it. The second term here is 7. The second to the last is as well equal to 7. So let's now look at a particular question that I can be able to use something to deduce for you. Now, another thing there is this. These are the coefficients I've shown you now. I'm going to show you what is going to happen to the power as well. The power that are going to be on each of this term. Now, when we have a question of this nature, we have a question of this nature that says x minus 1 raised power of 3. Now, if I want to make use of my coefficient, I'm going to come here. Look at this expression here. I will know that definitely this is going to be my coefficient. After I've done that, then I will now look at it. This first term here, since it is raised to the power of 3, this first term will be raising to, the first highest power there will be this 3. While the second term here will have the highest power to be 0. In that words, what I'm saying is that the power on the first term will be in descending order, that is from the highest value towards the lowest value, while the power of the second term will be in ascending order. Another thing to note there, you will discover that every time we are adding the power on each of the term we will be getting now, some of those power will be equal to the power that we have here. In that regard, the first power on this second term here will be 0. So let's look at it now. So we are going to have it to be, what's the coefficient of the first term? You will write the coefficient, that is, you are going to multiply the coefficient with all this power expression here. This one will now be equal to times x raised power of 3. Don't forget, we said that the power on the first term, this is the first term here, will be raised power of the highest power, and it will be descending. Multiply by what again? Minus 1 raised power over 0. You can see this one will now be going in ascending order, while this will be going in descending order. This is the coefficient as we have gotten from our Pascal triangle. Now, plus, be doing the addition like that, plus, this will be, what is that value? That will be the coefficient, 3 into bracket. I use the bracket instead of my multiplication here. X raised power, what do we have here? X raised power of 2 now. You can see, x is 3 here, x is 2 here. Multiply by minus 1 raised power over 1. You can see, minus 1 here, the power on it is 0. Here it is 1. It is increasing. While that of the x is decreasing. It is 3 here, while it is 2 here. Plus 3 again. X raised power, what is, you don't have now? X raised power of 1 now. Multiply by minus 1 raised power over 2. Now, you will see, if you have the power on each of these term here, it will be equal to the power we have here. 3 plus 0, 3. 2 plus 1, 3. 1 plus 2, 3. You've been able to deduce what I'm trying to say there now. Very good. Now, plus, then x, last term is what? 1. X times the x raised power of 0 multiplied by minus 1. Minus 1. I'll write it here again. 1 multiplied by x raised power of 0 multiplied by minus 1. Minus 1 raised power of 3 now. Now, this expression here, as we have it, you can now be able to get the value out. I'm going to bring the value out for you. I'll continue this expression here. Now, solving it further, I'm going to have 1 times x raised power 3, that will be x raised power of 3, minus 1 raised power 0, that will be equal to 1. So, I do not need to put anything there. Plus 3x squared, let's bracket it, multiply by minus 1 raised power of 1, that was minus 1. So, we are having, that we are through with this, 3x raised power of 1 plus 3x raised power of 1. Minus 1 raised power 2, that's minus 1 times minus 1, that will be equal to multiply by 1 as well. Let's put it in bracket. Plus 1 times x raised power 0, that will be equal to 1. X raised power 0 is 1. We have known that any value raised power of 0 is equal to 1. then we now say minus 1 raised to the power of 3, that will be equal to what? Minus 1. So, solving it further, we're going to have s raised to the power of 3 plus times minus here. Minus 1 times 3s squared, that will be minus 3s squared, times plus, that will be what? Minus 3s squared. This is 3x plus 3x plus 3x minus times plus is minus 1. So we are having the answer to be x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3x minus 1. That is the answer to this kind of a question. Now, what are the things I want you to deduce here? Now, you will discover that what we are having as a coefficient here, you can see this is 1 here. The coefficient of x cubed here is 1. As we have it here, the coefficient of x squared here is 3. Don't forget that we got out this minus 3 here purposely because the value we have there is not a positive but a negative minus 1. That's why we have it there. What we are interested in is the coefficient value itself, not the sign now. Now, the coefficient we also have here is 3, and the coefficient at this last part here is 1. Take note of that. Then, I have also told you that the first term, we have two terms here. When we are asked to do the binomial expansion, is that we have two terms. Even if the term is more than 2, you can break it down into 2 terms. The 2 terms we have here, which is x and minus 1, you discover that on each of these terms we have here, the first term here, which is x, the power, it has the highest power first. Then the power start reducing one after the other in that order like that. That is, the power of the first term is in descending order. Why this second term, which is minus 1, the power is started from lower part and increasing in that order that you can see from here. 0, 1, 2, and 3 in that order like that. So it's that case. And another thing you need to take note there, that if you sum up the power on each of the term here, they will always be equal to the power of the question given to us. Take note of those information very well. They are very, very important when you are dealing with the binomial expansion, or when we are talking about binomial theorem. Stay tuned for the next question. We have this question here that asked us to expand 2x plus 3 raised to the power of 5. Now, this kind of a question, the first thing we need to take note, let's bring out the coefficient there. The coefficient of 2x plus 3 raised to the power of 5, that is the power of 5 for expansion, are 1, 5. Don't forget that I have told you that the second term will always be the power here, 10, 10, 5, 1. If you work it out from the information we have initially before this, if you draw your Pascal triangle, this is what you are going to get for the 5 power here. Now, this will now mean that I want to start the solving now. I'm going to have 2x raised to the power of 1 multiplied by 2x raised to the power of 5 multiplied by 3 raised to the power of 0. That is what we are going to have in the first term. You can see the power on them, I have added together. 5 plus 0 is 5. And you can see that the first term here, which is 2x, is the one that has the highest power. So we are going to put it in bracket like this because it is both the 2 and the x that are going to have this value of this power here. Plus, what's the next power? Next coefficient is 5 into bracket 2x, put it in bracket, raised to the power of 4 is reducing, multiplied by 3 raised to the power of 1. Plus the next term, that's 10 into bracket 2x, put it in bracket, 2x, because it's not just a term, it is 2x, and whatever power that's going to be on them will have to be shared by that 2 and that x value. See, because they are not of equal terms. So x raised to the power over 3 now, then multiply by 3 raised to the power of that is 2. I can see 4 plus 1, 5, 3 plus 2 here, 5 as well, plus what is the coefficient I'm going to have again? 10 into 2x raised power over 2 multiplied by 3 raised power of 3 plus 5 into 2x raised power over 1 multiplied by 3 raised power of 4 plus 1 into 2x raised power over 0 multiplied by 3 raised power of 5. In other words, most of the time, always, this first term here will just be the value for the first term, and the last term too will be the value for the second term. That is what this expression always gives us. So take note of that. Now we are going to do the expansion proper now. 2 raised power of 5, this is 1s, is now going to be equal to 1 into 2 raised power of 5 is 32, and the x raised power of 5 multiplied by 1. 3 raised power of 0 is 1. I do not need to put it there. Plus 5 into 2 raised power of 4. That is equal to 16. X raised power of 4 times 3 plus 10 into 8 x raised power of 3 multiplied by 9 plus 10 into 2 raised power 2, 4x squared multiplied by 27 plus 5 into bracket of 2 raised power 1, that's 2x multiplied by 3 raised power 4, that's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, that is 81. 3 times 3, 9 times 3, that's 81 plus 1 into 2 raised power 0 is 1. X raised power 0 is 1. Then 3 raised power of 5 will give us what value is 3 raised power of 5? That will give us 243. 243. Now, if I multiply this expression here, 1 multiplied by this here, we are going to have 32x raised power of 5 plus 3 times 16 times 5 is this one here. We are going to get 240 x raised power of 4 plus 10 times 9 here, 90 times 8. 90 times 8, we are going to get 720 x raised power of 3 plus 10 times 27 here, that is 270. 270 times 4, we are going to have 1080 x raised power of 2 plus we are having what here? 5 times 2 times 81, that will be equal to 810 x plus 1 times 243, that will be 243. Now this is the answer to this expression that we have here, that is 2x plus 3 raised power of 5. Follow the process in that order like that. It's very simple to solve. Stay tuned for the next question. Next question that says that a minus 2b raised power of 4. Now for this power of 4, we're going to have is a coefficient to be in this order. That will be 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. This is the coefficient that this expression will have. Now, I'm not going to go into the simplification of the question properly. Now, this will be equal to the first term they have there, that's a minus 2b, it's about 4. The first term, that will be equal to 1 into bracket a raised power of 4 multiplied by minus 2b raised power of 0. So don't forget that the first term, we have the power to be, the power we have here, and it will be going in descending order, while the second term will not have any power in the first expression here. Then plus, then the first coefficient is 4 into bracket a raised power of what now? 3. 3 multiplied by minus 2 b raised power over 1. plus a raised power of that will be, what is the coefficient? 6 into a raised power of 2 now, multiplied by minus 2b raised power of 2 plus 4 into bracket a raised power of 1 multiplied by minus 2b raised power of 3 plus a raised power, what is the coefficient there now? 1 in bracket a raised power of 0 multiplied by minus 2b raised power of 4. Now, we have been able to do this our expansion proper. Then we go ahead with the simplification right now. This will be equal to, since all this expression here will be equal to 1, this expression here, a raised power of 4 times 1 will give us a raised power of 4. This will be a raised power of 4 plus 4 a raised power of 3 multiplied by minus 2 raised power of 1. That will be minus 2b. That will be multiplied by minus 2b, then plus what is the value here? 6a squared, 6a raised power of 2 multiplied by minus 2 squared. That will be equal to plus 4b squared. That's 4b squared. This negative value here is out of that place because it is raised power of 2, so it becomes positive sign. Plus 4a, 4 times a raised power of 1 is 4a, multiplied by minus 2 raised power of 3, that will be equal to minus 2 times minus 2 times minus, that will be equal to minus 8 b raised power of 3. Then is equal to plus, again, plus we are having this term here, 1 into bracket, or multiplied by 1 times a raised power 0 is 1. A raised power 0 also is 1. Then this will be what? 2 minus 2 raised power 4. That will be equal to plus 16. That's 16 b raised power of 4. Which now the final answer will now be given us to be a raised power of 4. Now this is the negative value here. Minus times plus here, we are having minus 4 times 2. That will be what? 8 a raised power of 3b. You can see, if I look at this expression here, what is the sum of the power here? A is having 3, B is having 1. Here, A is having 4. You can see, 4, A is having 3, B is having 1. So when we have this, the power here together, we are going to get 4 plus, is it plus? Yes, plus 6 times 4, that will be 24. A raised power of 2, B raised power of 2. You can see, you have the power together, you get 4 as well. Plus 4 minus, that will be plus times minus is minus. Yes, minus 4 times 8. 8 times 4 will give us 32. 32 A B raised power of 3. You can see there's a single A here. Then plus 16 B raised power of 4. This is the answer to the question that we have there. So I think the answer is perfect here now. So we can now say that this is how we simplify this kind of a question. Whichever question given to you, and or whatever, however, whichever way it is given to you, follow the trend accordingly like this, and you'll be able to solve it with ease. Thanks. You have another question that says that we should expand this expression here, that is x minus 1 over x raised to power 3. I write here x minus 1 over x raised to power 3. As we have been doing earlier, we know the expansion of this, or the coefficient of this particular power of 3 here will be 1 coefficient 3 3 1. That is the coefficient value we are going to have there. We have this expression now will be in form of 1 into bracket x raised to power 3. As the first term, we have the power going in a descending order. multiply by 1 over x minus 1 over x raised power over 0 plus 3 into bracket x raised power of 2 now, multiply by minus 1 over x raised power of 1, then plus 3 into bracket x raised power of 1, multiply by minus 1 over x raised power of 2, plus 1 into bracket x raised power over 0 here now, multiply by minus 1 over x raised power over 3 here. So now, this eventually will now become s cubed. It will be over the value here. I've told you earlier that the value of the first term will be the one that will only feature the first term we are going to get, because this one is going to be raised to the power of 0. Second term will not feature itself at all. Likewise, in the last term, it is only the second term that will feature there. The first term value will not feature there at all. Take note of that. So we're going to have x raised to the power of 3 here. Multiply by 1 here, we will still have x raised to the power of 3. Plus, now, you have to take note of something here. Because when you are solving this kind of equation, you are in an examination, you need to take note of how you need to be fast when you're doing it. You should know that minus 1 raised to the power of 1 will still lead us to getting minus value. So from here, you can just know that you are going to have a negative value here. Minus 1 times 3, that will be minus 3x raised to the power of 2 multiplied by 1 over x. Don't forget I have removed this minus. I'll use it to multiply this positive sign. That is why I have negative value here. Now, I move to this one now. Now, taking a look at this now, we know that this value that will multiply here, minus 1 raised to the power of 2, that will be plus 1. X raised to the power of 2, x raised to the power of 2. So let's have it that way. That will be what? Plus, because this value here has been resolved to become positive. So multiply by this is still positive. Plus 3x multiplied by 1 raised to the power of 2, 1. X raised to the power of 2 is s squared. Plus 1 multiplied by, this is 1 outside here. We know that this is 1 multiplied by minus 1 raised to the power of 3. That is what? Minus 1 as well, over s raised to the power of 3. In other words, I ought to have used this minus 1 to multiply this. Let me put it here once as for all. So I'm going to have minus here. Immediately I have minus here. I know that, when you say minus 1 raised to the power of 3 is minus 1. Minus times plus here, we are going to have minus. That's why you have this minus here right away now. Good. We move ahead in solving it further this way to have x raised to the power of 3. Then you can see that this is a value that this is negative value, this is positive, and this is multiplication in between them. They can resolve them out first here. So this one we call this. One of the x at the numerator here will go. We'll remain making x to remain only 1 here. Minus 3x. Then plus, this is 3x here. This is s squared here. If this s goes with this, so it is remaining 3 times 1, 3 over x. You can see that value here. Yes. Now, then minus 1 times 1 is 1. 1 over x raised to the power of 3. 1 over x raised to the power of 3. I think we've been able to resolve this question according, unless if you want to write it in another form. Maybe you want to write it in this form like this. X raised to the power of 3 minus 3x plus 3x raised to the power of minus 1. Because this is 3 over x, that's 3 times 1 over x. You can have it that way. Minus x raised to the power of minus 3. If you intend to have it this way, all well and good, the answer is still relevant with one another. Wait for the next question. Find the value of 1.04 raised to the power of 3. Now, let's try to look at how we can solve this kind of a question. Because the question we have been having so far, we are having 2 terms. But this one too is solvable. So how do we go about it? So what you do is this. You just say 1 0.04 raised power of 3 can as well be is equivalent to 1 plus 0.04 raised power of 3 raised power of 3. Now, the coefficient of this expression will be 1, 3, 3, 1. Take note of that as well. We've been able to have the coefficient 1.1 plus 0.04 raised power of 3. We have the coefficient of it shown to us here. Now, this expression will not go further this way. We know that the first term will be equal to 1 into bracket 1 raised power of 3 plus 0.04 raised power of 0 plus the next term, the next value here, that will be 3 into 1 raised power over 2 multiplied by, this is multiplication, sorry, this is multiplication, that will be here, 0.04 raised power of 1 plus 3 as well into bracket 1 raised power over 1 multiplied by 0.04 raised power of 2 plus 1 into bracket 1 raised power over 0 multiplied by 0.04 raised power over 3. Now, you've seen that, check it out, you see that the power that are added at each of those terms at this stage are equal to the power we have out here. That is good. It means what we are working is still going in order, because you have to be careful. Don't make the mistake. So we go ahead in solving it further this way. Now, another thing I would like you to take note here is that anytime you are asked to add 1 plus a particular value, it is even better for you to just add the 1. You know that at the first stage or the first step here, it is the 1 that will raise power of 3. And at the last stage here, it is this second term here that will raise power of that 3 that is given to us as the power. Now, what I'm bringing out for you is this. Since 1 it is the value here, you can see that anything you multiply by 1 will still remain that value. So this 1 does not have anything to even do with anything here. So you can just add this coefficient multiplied by the second term in the remaining expression, except that of the first expression. Take note of that. But I do it this way in order to make it in a simplified form for your understanding. Now, I go ahead in having it to become 1 multiplied by 0.04 raised power of 0. This one will be 0, that will be 1. Plus everything here is equal to 1. Plus 3 times 1, that is 3. You can see, you will still multiply the same thing by 1. That's 3. Multiply by 0.04, we are going to get 0.12. 0.12. Plus, I'm throwing this place as well. Now, here, 3 multiplied by 1, that's 3. Now, you cannot just say 3 multiplied by 0.0. No, you have to firstly let this one raise to its power. That's 0.04 raised power of 2. What is the value we are going to have there? We are going to get, when we multiply it by 3, 0.04 raised power of 2, that's 4 raised power, 4 raised power, 0.04 raised power of 2. Whatever value we get there, we multiply it by this 3. We are going to get 0.0048. That is what we are going to get here. By multiplying 0.04 raised power of 2, we'll get a value that will give us something raised power or 0.0016 multiplied by this 3. You're going to get 0.0048. This is 1 again. Times 1. You can see the value of this first term as 1 here. It's just giving us the same value that this second term is giving us, while it multiplied by the coefficient that is outside the bracket. Now, 0.04 raised power of 3 is the value we were looking for there, and that one will give us 0.000064. 0.0000, that's 4064. 0.000064. So when we add everything together, we're going to get 1.124, 864. 1.124864. That is the answer to this, because we are asked to find this value of this expression, this power of 3. Ordinarily, if you make use of your calculator, you will get this answer straight away. But in an examination, nobody will expect you to just make use of calculator to get the answer like this. You'll be asked, and in fact, you are even expected to show the working in this way. Thanks for being part of this class. Do subscribe to our channel for you to be able to have access to all our lectures. We have many lectures on different subjects. Thanks and God bless.